What's up, everybody? This is Fred Ricciani of TSC News, sitting alongside the world's strongest man, former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Mark Henry. Royal Rumble weekend. We're here at the Action Martial Arts Hall of Fame weekend in Atlantic City. Mr. Henry, what brings you here today?
You know what, man? I'm just love Alan Goldberg. Just an honest and sweet guy. I've known him for years and years, and I told him I was going to come, and here I am.
Now, you've had an incredible wrestling career, but you also had an amazing powerlifting career. I mean, you're a tremendous athlete, and I was doing a little bit of research on you, saying, okay, what can I talk about with Mark Henry? And my God, I mean, your list of wrestling accomplishments is insane, but your pre-wrestling accomplishments are insane as well. When you look back, I mean, do you really feel like it's kind of like a tale of two lives, the one before wrestling and the one during it?
You know what, it's actually been about 4 lives. I started off in powerlifting, became a world champion, went on to Olympic weightlifting, became the national champion, 2-time Olympian, and while I was wrestling, I actually kind of said, you know what, I'm going to go back. And I started doing strongman, and in 2002 won the world championship and world strongest man. So, and then to win a world championship in pro wrestling, I think I'm listed as the only human being that's won a world title in 3 sports that have nothing to do with each other.
That's pretty incredible. And you had a nice cameo on the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw with The Godfather. And it reminded me of how long you've been around. I mean, since, what, 1996, right?
95. Like, it's been a long time.
So for you, you're a guy that started out, came in with a lot of hype after the Olympics, went through some adversity, but really ended your career on a high note. Do you have any advice for any wrestlers right now that have been in WWE for a while, or another organization that maybe are kind of going through the struggle creatively in a rut, and what they need to do in order to break out? Because you're a guy that, you know, was up and down. You were in some main events, you were out, you're injured, you were in OVW at one point, and then all of a sudden, like, the last 5, 6, 7 years of your career were some of the best work you had.
Well, I mean, there's always storms, and, you know, a lot was expected out of me. You know, I'd never done wrestling before, and I came, man, cold turkey. So for me to come out of an anaerobic sport and go to an aerobic sport and to become world champion is, you know, pretty unheard of. I'm proud of the fact that it was a lot of work that went into it. But it wasn't shocking to me. You know, it took me about 3 or 4 years to get really rolling. And I mean, you look at people that train for a black belt, you know, it's not going to happen in a year or 2. You know, so once I got my steam up, it was just rolling downhill. And you know, I got in a lot of fights and arguments with people, and that's why I went to Canada, and that's why I went to OVW, because, you know, you have to humble yourself. You have to acclimate yourself to whatever industry that you're in. I said, man, you meant for this business, and he didn't agree. He wanted to keep doing strongman, and after about 2 more years, he finally said, hey, man, you think you still get me into wrestling? And I was like, hell yeah.
You help this him?
And here he is. Well, I'm hoping that he takes Brock and, you know, handles him, you know, pretty handily. But as far as the Rumble is like dice. You have no idea what's going to happen.
Well, Mark, we really do appreciate the time. As somebody that's had tremendous success, what's the best piece of advice you can give everybody watching this right now?
If I was going to give advice to somebody, I would say shoot your shot. Don't rest on your laurels. Don't think that stuff is going to come to you. You have to go and take it until people tell you to stop.